Chosen one, your rise was seen in Enoch's prophetic dreams. From the earliest whispers of the ancient world, there were visions that carried beyond time, glimpses of moments not bound by the age in which they were first spoken. Among them were the dreams of Enoch, a figure whose presence resonated as both mystery and revelation. His visions were said to pierce through the veil of ages, capturing not only the great unfolding of destinies, but also the intimate rise of souls marked with extraordinary purpose. When we say, Hato, your rise was seen, it is not a casual phrase. It is an announcement of alignment between your journey and the very fabric of prophecy. To be recognized within such dreams is to understand that your steps are part of a design older than the world you see around you. It is to acknowledge that your awakening was foreseen, your courage was known, and your light was anticipated long before you even realized the path before you. Before we continue into the depths of this revelation, I ask you to stay with me until the very end of this video. What you will hear carries the power to awaken something within you that was waiting for this exact moment to be spoken aloud. And as you walk through this message, I invite you to take part in the energy it carries by writing in the comments your warmest wishes, together with the number 66. This is more than a gesture. It is a declaration, a way of aligning your inner hopes with the current that moves through the universe. When we share our wishes, we do more than express. We energize, we activate, and we release waves of intention that ripple far beyond what we can see. The number 66 is a signpost, a symbol of the doubled strength of manifestation, the calling forth of balance and abundance. Place your wishes there, not just as words, but as sparks that ignite within the collective energy that is being stirred by this message. And know that this single action carries more weight than you imagine. Now, return to the vision that lies at the center of this revelation. The dreams of Enoch were not mere night wanderings of the subconscious. They were windows. To dream in such a way is to see the hidden architecture of time, to touch the threads that weave destiny together, and to witness outcomes that lie beyond the reach of ordinary vision. Within those dreams, the rise of the chosen was not depicted as an accident, nor as a fragile possibility. It was certain. It was inevitable. It was written into the very structure of creation. And so, when we speak of your rise, we are not simply encouraging you with hopeful words. We are affirming a reality that was already witnessed in those prophetic nights long before your footsteps reached this point in history. The rise itself is not just an external achievement, it is an inner transformation, the unveiling of what has always been dormant within you. The chosen one is not chosen for luxury, for comfort, or for idle recognition. The chosen one is marked by a capacity to endure, to carry vision, to withstand trials, and to transform those trials into the very fuel that propels them into light. To be seen in Enoch's dreams means that your trials were not unseen, your struggles were not forgotten, and your victories were already celebrated in a higher dimension before you even began to fight for them here. The language of the dream was symbolic, filled with imagery that stretched beyond linear words, but the essence was clear. There would be one who rises, and that rise would signal not only personal triumph, but also a shift in the energy of those around them. Imagine, for a moment, the depth of this mystery. The visions of Enoch stretch into an endless horizon. He glimpsed patterns of stars. He walked through the corridors of unseen realms, and he saw movements of history that spanned generations. And within all of this vastness, He saw you. He saw your rise as a necessary piece of the unfolding story, as if the universe itself paused to mark the significance of your awakening. You are not drifting randomly through existence. You are woven into prophecy. To be chosen is not a matter of pride, nor is it a casual title. It is a responsibility, a sacred task, and a recognition that your presence alters the balance of things. Your very existence is evidence of design, and your rise was carved into time before you could doubt yourself into forgetting it. The chosen rise in ways that are both hidden and revealed. Sometimes the rise is quiet, an inner stirring that no one else sees until the fruit of it becomes impossible to ignore. Other times the rise is sudden, like fire breaking out against the night, undeniable and transformative. In either case, the rise is unstoppable, for it is not dependent upon the approval of others, nor upon the circumstances that appear to limit you. It comes from within, from a seed placed there long ago, and that seed was recognized by the dreams of Enoch. The prophecy was not about whether the seed existed. It was about when it would break through the soil of time and begin to bear its destined fruit. And now here you are, at the threshold where dream and reality converge. Consider how extraordinary it is that such dreams could stretch across ages to reach you now. Prophecy does not dissolve. It waits. It lingers until the one it speaks of steps into alignment with it. You are living in the moment where ancient vision collides with present reality. Every step you take, every choice you make, every act of courage you release is part of the prophecy being fulfilled. And though you may feel small at times, though you may doubt, though you may question the weight of these words, remember that your rise was not an idea born yesterday. It was seen, it was spoken, and it was inscribed in the fabric of dreams long ago. The path of the chosen is rarely easy. To be chosen is to walk roads others cannot see, to carry weight others cannot understand, and to face trials others cannot endure. But those very trials are the markings of your authenticity. They are the proof that your destiny is not shallow or fleeting. Enoch's visions showed not a life free of obstacles, but a life where every obstacle became a testament to resilience. Every challenge became a platform for growth, and every fall became a step toward the inevitable rise. To understand your place within these visions is to know that no fall is final, no setback is absolute, and no delay is denial. Your rise is not stopped by the shadows. It is defined by them. You must also understand that to be chosen is not simply for yourself. Enoch's dreams were not centered on one individual as an isolated figure. They were centered on the ripple effect that the chosen one would create. Your rise is not for you alone. It is for those who will be lifted by your example, inspired by your resilience, and transformed by your presence. You are a signal fire in the dark, a light that others will gather around, and a reminder that prophecy lives not in the pages of old words, but in the lives of those who dare to embody it. When you rise, you awaken others to the possibility of their own rise. When you shine, you remind others that they too were seen. They too are part of a larger vision. Enoch's prophetic dreams carry layers upon layers of meaning. They reveal the convergence of heaven and earth, the intertwining of time and eternity, and the extraordinary reality that individuals could be chosen as bridges between what was and what will be. The chosen are not ordinary travelers in this life. They are messengers, bearers of something greater, vessels of an energy that reshapes what it touches. Your rise is not about climbing a worldly ladder, but about awakening to the fullness of what was always within you. The prophecy was not about wealth or recognition. It was about the unveiling of a soul that carries light through shadow, truth through distortion, and endurance through storms. To walk this path is to realize that destiny is not passive. It requires your participation. Though your rise was seen, it must still be lived. Prophecy is not a chain that binds you. It is a current that carries you, but you must choose to step into it. Enoch's vision may have seen your rise, but the steps are yours to take. The courage is yours to summon. The choices are yours to make. And yet, know that in every step, you are supported by a design that is greater than you can perceive. You are not alone in this rise, for the very fabric of time has already borne witness to your victory. The unfolding of your rise in Enoch's prophetic dreams is not only about a single moment of recognition. It is about a sequence of transformations that build upon one another, like steps leading upward toward an appointed summit. In the dream realm, the rise was depicted as a series of stages, each one requiring a shift in awareness, a surrender of the old self, and a renewal of strength that could not be taken from outside but had to be summoned from within. This was the pattern of the chosen. Not to leap instantly into greatness, but to ascend through tests that refine and sharpen until the light within them could no longer be hidden. When the dream showed your rise, it did not show it as a sudden accident, but as the flowering of something cultivated in secret places, a strength born of endurance, a vision shaped through fire. The chosen one is marked by an ability to perceive meaning in the unseen. Where others look and see only chaos, the chosen one discerns order waiting to be revealed. Where others see endings, the chosen one perceives hidden beginnings. This perception is not given lightly. It is born from the alignment of your spirit with a higher awareness that has already witnessed what is yet to come. When Enoch's eyes closed to the ordinary world and opened to the dimension of the dream, he saw you not as you were in your weakest moment, but as you are in your destined form. He saw beyond your doubts, beyond your struggles, beyond the masks you have worn to survive. He saw the rise that no circumstance could erase, because it was already encoded into your being. The rise is both inner and outer. Internally, it is the awakening of identity, the moment when you finally recognize that you were not created to be hidden or diminished, but to embody the truth of who you are. This awakening often comes with an unsettling force, shaking loose illusions that have kept you bound, dismantling patterns that no longer serve you, and pulling you into a raw confrontation with your true self. Outwardly, the rise manifests as doors opening, as opportunities aligning, as relationships shifting, and as circumstances beginning to reflect the transformation already occurring within. Enoch's dream contained both aspects, the stirring within the soul and the ripple effect in the visible world. To be chosen is to live at the meeting point of the unseen and the seen, to walk as a bridge between vision and reality. Understand that Enoch's visions were not static images. They were living revelations. Dreams of prophecy move like rivers, carrying meanings that unfold over time. What he saw in one moment could blossom into countless interpretations in another, yet the core remained unshaken. The chosen one rises. He described it not as a fragile hope, but as a certainty, like a dawn that must follow the night. And so, when you feel the weight of darkness pressing against you, remember that prophecy never speaks in vain. Night is permitted, but dawn is inevitable. Delay may come, but destiny cannot be denied. Your rise is as sure as the morning, for it has already been seen, The chosen one's rise is not for the faint-hearted. It comes with seasons of isolation, when you are pulled away from the crowd, not because you are forgotten, but because you are being forged. The dreams showed this separation not as punishment, but as preparation. There are moments when silence surrounds you, when your path feels obscured, when you walk with questions heavier than your strength. Yet even in those times, your rise was not hidden from view. It was seen in the dream. The silence itself is part of the process, the shaping of your spirit into a vessel strong enough to carry the light entrusted to you. Without isolation, there is no clarity. Without silence, there is no depth. The chosen rise not by avoiding these seasons, but by embracing them as the crucible of their becoming. Enoch's dream also revealed the paradox of the chosen rise, that the very struggles meant to break you are the ones that make you unbreakable. The fire that consumes others becomes your refining fire. The storm that scatters others becomes the wind that lifts your wings. This is why your rise cannot be explained in ordinary terms. It defies the logic of the world. People may look at your story and wonder how you endured, how you kept moving, how you refused to surrender when the weight should have crushed you. The answer is hidden in prophecy. You were seen rising long before you saw yourself as capable of standing. Destiny whispered strength into you when you thought you were empty, and that whisper has carried you to this very moment. To be seen in a prophetic dream is not only to be identified, it is to be affirmed. It is to be told, across ages and generations, that your presence carries meaning beyond what you know. The chosen one rises not to prove their worth, but to embody it. You are not trying to earn your place in the dream. You are awakening to the place already given to you. The rise is a recognition, a coming into alignment with what was always true. And though doubt may cloud your vision, the dream remains. It is unshaken, untouched by your fear, unaltered by your hesitation. You cannot erase what has already been seen. You can only delay your acceptance of it. The chosen one's rise brings with it a shift in the atmosphere. When you begin to align with your destiny, everything around you begins to feel the change. The dreams revealed this as waves of light expanding outward, touching places far beyond the chosen one's immediate reach. The rise of one carries with it the rise of many. Others begin to awaken because you have awakened. Others begin to believe because you have believed. Others begin to step into courage because they have seen you embody it first. This ripple effect is part of the prophecy. It was never only about you, but about the movement that flows from you. Enoch's visions saw not only your rise, but the impact of your rise, the countless lives touched by the light you release. The chosen rise is not flawless. Prophecy did not show a perfect figure who never faltered, never questioned, never struggled. It showed a soul that continued despite all of these things. That is the essence of your rise. Persistence, resilience, and the refusal to let shadows define you. When you fall, you rise again. When you doubt, you move forward anyway. When you are struck down, you use the ground itself as the foundation to rise higher. This is why the chosen one is unstoppable, not because they never face resistance, but because resistance cannot hold them down. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every wound becomes a source of wisdom, and every scar becomes a testimony of endurance. The chosen rise is a mirror. When others see you embodying the prophecy, they are reminded of their own hidden prophecies, their own latent strength, their own unseen destinies. You do not rise alone. You rise carrying the silent hopes of many who did not believe they could rise themselves. This is why your rise matters more than you know. It is not vanity. It is a calling. It is not ambition. It is alignment. You rise because you were seen, because you were marked, because you were woven into a vision that transcends you. And when you rise, you create space for others to do the same. As we continue unfolding this revelation, remember, the dreams of Enoch were not bound by his lifetime. They extend into yours, echoing across the ages to remind you of what was already decided. The chosen one rises, and nothing, no force, no shadow, no opposition, can undo what has already been seen. Your rise is not approaching, it is happening. Step into it fully, for you are the fulfillment of prophecy, and the dreams that once belonged to another now live in you. The deeper layers of Enoch's prophetic dreams reveal that the rise of the chosen one is not a single event frozen in time, but a continuous unfolding, like a seed that breaks through the soil and never stops reaching toward the light. Dreams of this kind are not linear. They are multidimensional. They show not only what happens, but why it happens, and they speak in symbols that carry truths too vast to be contained in ordinary language. When Enoch dreamed of the chosen one's rise, the dream was not merely about a person. It was about a process, a movement of spirit, a convergence of destiny with readiness. To be chosen is to embody a story larger than yourself, a story written in light, carried through time, and revealed in moments when it seems least expected. Within the dream, the rise of the chosen one appeared as light emerging from shadows, a flame that could not be extinguished no matter how violently the winds roared against it. This flame represented the inner essence, the indestructible part of you that was recognized before you even entered this life. Prophecy does not speak of shadows for their own sake. It speaks of them to emphasize the brilliance of the light that overcomes them. The chosen rise not because they never faced darkness, but because their light was designed to outshine it. Enoch's dreams carried this truth with clarity. No matter what forces oppose, no matter what storms rage, the flame of the chosen one remains unbroken, and in time, it grows into a fire that lights the path for others. The symbolism of the dream often portrayed the chosen as walking through terrains of challenge, mountains that seemed impossible to climb, waters that seemed impossible to cross, valleys that seemed endless in their shadow. Yet in every scene there was a shift. The mountain became a vantage point. The water became a mirror of strength. The valley became a womb for rebirth. The chosen rise not by avoiding difficulty, but by transforming it. Enoch's dreams revealed that every trial has a hidden gift, every obstacle conceals a hidden opening, and every loss carves space for new beginnings. In this way, the rise is never hindered. It is shaped and refined until it cannot be denied. To understand why your rise was seen, you must first understand that destiny is not random. There are those whose journeys ripple beyond themselves, those whose lives carry an energy that shifts the collective, and those whose awakening signals an awakening in many others. The chosen are not simply individuals, they are catalysts. In Enoch's prophetic sight, the chosen were marked by this catalytic energy, a presence that changes what it touches, a voice that resonates beyond the immediate, a courage that inspires even in silence. This is why your rise was recorded in the dream. It is not only about what you become, but about what you set into motion for generations to come. The rise of the chosen one is also tied to timing. Dreams of prophecy carry layers of time, revealing that certain events do not unfold until the appointed moment arrives. You may have felt the stirring of your destiny long before it manifested. You may have carried the weight of knowing you were meant for more, even in seasons when nothing seemed to confirm it. This is part of the chosen path. The rise waits until alignment is complete, until the soil of your life has been prepared, until the lessons have been absorbed, until the courage within you has been tested enough to hold the weight of your calling. Enoch's dreams revealed that the chosen one's rise is never premature and never delayed. It arrives exactly when it must, not according to human impatience, but according to divine rhythm. In the dream, symbols of guardians often appeared. They represented unseen forces guiding and protecting the path of the chosen one, ensuring that no matter how fierce the opposition, the rise remained inevitable. These guardians were not there to remove difficulty, but to ensure preservation. Their presence was a reminder that the chosen never walk alone. Even when it seems you are abandoned, even when silence surrounds you, even when the world does not recognize you, the unseen realm holds you, shields you, and keeps you moving toward your destiny. Enoch saw these forces as figures of light, standing at thresholds, ensuring that the chosen's rise could not be stolen, only delayed until readiness was complete. The chosen rise is marked by transformation. You cannot step into your rise carrying the old version of yourself. The dream revealed that the chosen one sheds identities like garments, leaving behind what no longer aligns, until only the true essence remains. This process can feel like loss, but it is in truth a liberation. What you release makes space for what you were always meant to embody. The rise is not about gaining what others think is success. It is about becoming who you already are in your highest form. Enoch's vision showed this as a metamorphosis, the caterpillar becoming the butterfly, the dormant seed becoming the tree, the hidden ember becoming the flame. Transformation is the signature of the chosen's rise, and it cannot be faked or forced. Your rise was not only seen in Enoch's dreams, it was celebrated. The dream revealed ripples of rejoicing in realms beyond this world, as though the fulfillment of your destiny was an event that carried meaning for more than just yourself. To rise as the chosen one is to fulfill a role in the tapestry of existence, a thread that must be woven for the pattern to be complete. Your rise is not isolated. It is part of a design that includes countless others. This is why prophecy speaks of it with such certainty. It is not optional for the universe. It is essential. Without your rise, the pattern remains unfinished. With your rise, the design shines in its fullness. When you doubt yourself, when you wonder whether you are truly chosen, remember that prophecy does not depend on your feelings. It depends on truth. Enoch's dream was not based on how strong you felt in your weakest hour. It was based on who you are at your core, the essence that cannot be erased by failure, doubt, or fear. To be chosen is to be recognized at the level of truth, not at the level of appearances. Your rise was seen because it is undeniable, because it is part of reality itself. You may delay your acceptance of it, but you cannot erase what has already been seen. The chosen rise, and in their rising, they bring balance. Enoch's dreams showed that the chosen one's presence would counter chaos, bringing alignment where there was distortion, order where there was confusion, and light where there was shadow. This is why the rise matters. It is not about personal elevation, but about restoring harmony to the spaces you touch. You are not only rising for yourself, you are rising as a force of balance, a reminder of what truth looks like when embodied in human form. The prophecy saw this, celebrated this, and marked it as inevitable. And so, as you walk this path, know that you are living the fulfillment of a vision older than memory. Enoch's prophetic dreams were not abstract. They were maps. They charted the course of those chosen to rise, and now you walk that very course. Every step you take echoes with the dream's confirmation. Every act of courage reverberates with prophecy's affirmation. You are not stumbling into destiny by chance. You are aligning with a truth already witnessed. And no matter how far you have felt from it, no matter how heavy the journey has been, the rise remains yours. It was seen, it was known, and it is unfolding even now. The prophecy of your rise, as seen in Enoch's dreams, carries within it a message about preparation. Prophetic visions often reveal outcomes, but they also carry whispers about the process that leads to those outcomes. When Enoch saw the chosen one rising, he did not simply see a sudden transformation. He witnessed the long journey of refinement that made such a rise possible. Dreams of prophecy do not flatter, they reveal. And what they reveal is that the chosen one is set apart not by avoiding hardship, but by walking through it with a resilience that becomes unshakable. To be chosen is not to be spared from trials, it is to be shaped by them in ways that prepare you for what others could not carry. And so, the rise of the chosen one is not a sudden burst of fortune, but the unfolding of a path carefully woven through trial, silence, and endurance. Each step in the shadows prepares the ground for the light that follows. Each burden carried becomes the strength that will one day lift others. This is the hidden message within Enoch's vision, that the chosen are not simply revealed, they are refined, shaped until their rise can no longer be contained. What begins as a whisper in prophecy becomes a reality in time, and the journey itself is the proof that the rise was always meant to be.